the time clocks about the environment run on, how do we get a sense of the catastrophic implications? How does humanity begin to sense what's going on?
Yeah, well, that's the fundamental question, isn't it? Because if we were able to fully acknowledge what was happening, then surely we would have the necessary will to prevent it from happening, that the technology certainly exists, and that there's, even with existing technology, there'd be nothing standing in our way of living sustainably on the planet. We know how to grow food properly, we know how to control population, we know all of these things, but the will doesn't exist because of this, because the penny hasn't dropped, and we don't really believe that this is happening to us yet.
How do we come to really believe it? Will it take incredible trauma, crisis, to awaken that consciousness?
I think the problem with trauma is that at the moment things seem so precarious for the Earth that if the traumas that we've already had aren't sufficient, then I'm afraid that any trauma that would be sufficient would also be lethal. That, for instance, the Director General of the United Nations Environment Programme, Dr. Mustafa Talba, says that at the current rate of destruction, we face by the turn of this century an environmental catastrophe as complete and as and as irreversible as any nuclear holocaust. And this is echoed by many scientists. So if this is true, that in the next 10 years or so this will take place, it's hard to imagine any trauma sufficient to turn that huge, the huge inertia of this whole way of being around that wouldn't also just be a death blow to the planet. In the end, nothing but a miracle would be of any use at this time. I mean, when you look at the rate of destruction, whether it's of the rainforests or the ozone layer, the climate, all of these things that are happening. And if you were to multiply all of the efforts of conservationists by a factor of 10 or even 100, it wouldn't be enough. So that there's nothing on the horizon that can help us, And so then you think, well, what kind of a miracle would that be? Well, it'd be a very simple one, really. All that it would need would be for human beings to wake up one day different than they were the day before, and realising that this is the end unless we make these changes, and then deciding to make the change. So that doesn't seem like a very likely thing to happen. But on the other hand, the whole road that we've travelled is so littered with miracles that it's only our strange kind of modern psyche that refuses to see it. I mean, the miracle of being descended from a fish that chose to leave the water and walk on the land. Well, anyone with a pedigree like that, you can't lose hope, that's all.
I'll be the first fish to walk on the land, but this time
Welcome to the Rainforest Information Centre, protecting rainforests in partnership with Indigenous communities and local people to safeguard these vital ecosystems. Join our mission to protect rainforests. Your support makes a difference. Don't miss out on the opportunity to learn more about our work. Help us save the Earth's remaining rainforests. Visit johnseed.net today.
Ecosystem after system is plundered and laid to waste as from the Earth he sucks the life. Secret vital organs from the living